Hi everyone, we are Group 38 of ISYS 90043, Enterprise Applications and Architectures. We are glad to deliver this presentation for our research topic. Our research question is, how does big data analytics create value in the Australia public sector? Here are all the group members. In this video, each of us will be presenting one section. Here is the agenda of the presentation. Section 1 is a brief introduction to explain why we chose this research question. Then, the background section will first provide an overview of big data analytics and the current challenges faced by the Australia government sector. After this, it will discuss some strategy to address those challenges with the use of big data analytics. The third section will discuss how public sector can derive value from big data analytics by reviewing existing successful applications from other countries. Section 4 will discuss some barriers for public sector to realizing value from big data analytics. Section 5 will demonstrate the findings from literature reviews. At the same time, how those findings can be applied in the practice will be testified by using a case study, New South Wales State Emergency Service. The final section will conclude the paper and discuss the research limitations and future study directions. Under rapid and continuous technological revolution, data has experienced explosive growth in size and complexity, which can no longer be processed by conventional techniques. It could add a challenge for both private and public sectors to manage and leverage data. Driven by this, big data analytics has thereby emerged. Some scholars have recognized that big data analytics will enable the government to perceive citizen preference more accurately and interpret them into more citizen-oriented policy. It would eventually facilitate optimization of public spending and resource allocation. However, the existing research either focuses on the value to commercial sectors or mixture of commercial and public. Apart from this, the research around Australia public sector is very limited. Given by all this, we decided to raise the research question, how does big data analytics create value in the Australia public sector?
Before we move on, I'd like to give you an overview of the background of current Australia government and big data analytics. To get a better understanding of what big data is, it's often described using 5 V's: variety, volume, velocity, veracity, and value. The complexity of data in 5 V's is increasing, but the real impact depends on the ability to discover the value of data through big data analytics. Based on the fact that Australia experienced 15% of GDP loss due to COVID-19, and the government was forced to take on $300 billion debt and more than 40% travel revenue loss. On the basis, Australia's strategic planning is more focused on improve government agencies' data analysis skills to provide better services and make scientific decisions. In fact, big data analytics has become a new driving force for digital transformation of the society and the economy, as well as developing a smart city. This brings us to the fact that the decision-making models for Australian government agencies need to be enhanced. Let's look at this problem a bit more detail. According to a recent report, 48% of Australian government agencies have the extensive data analysis skills, but only 8% have a data-centric culture. And a complete, unified picture of internal and third-party data to support complex operations is only available in 4%. Given this, the great majority depend on unreliable data, is often erroneous and incomplete. We therefore can see the statistics under big data analytics through real-time economic tracking and forecasting, quickly obtain objective data for decision makers, meaning and analyzing data, public participation of public service products, and so on, to allow the government to make better decisions based on scientific analytics.
Okay, this section I will present the benefits of the big data analytic for government sector. The traditional model of the government work is being revolutionized by big data analytic, which has led to new ways to think about the digitalization in the delivery government service and the implementation of the digital governance. And below we have identified 3 benefits. Firstly, big data analytics can improve the accuracy, efficiency, and the speed of the decision making. Governments can leverage the big data and advanced analytics to discover unstructured data to complement traditional approach. It can enable study and analysis of the wide range of the source to better understanding the price landscape and enhance decision making. Second, the big data to drive the decision making has become a common phenomenon in the business. While companies can use big data analytics to optimize profit, it also can benefit to public sector. The big data analytics can reduce operating costs and increase profit. The public sector can use big data to analyze, predict, and reconfigure resource. For example, in South Cambridgeshire Council use big data analytics to calculate the best route for garbage collection. This way reduce the operating costs of the government department. Finally, it is very important to note that while most claim that the benefit of the big data analytics is can reduce costs, but a small group of the people believe that it may also assist the government enhance their service delivery model. Governments can use big data analytics to change the government service delivery model from reactive to proactive. It can provide preventive service rather than reactive to needs as a redress. This new model building the predictive models for planning by combining different types of the big data, investing in deep cause and discovering paths to action. Prediction based on big data allows for service quality improvement and regional resource allocation.
Then, I will reduce the part of challenges when implementing big data analytics. Although big data analytics is widely implemented in industrial activities, there are many challenges in using big data analytics. Firstly is data security and privacy. With more and more data sources, data security and privacy have become one of the most important challenges. Since big data analytics need to utilize a range of big data tools to store, analyze, and manage from different sources, combining behavioral data will lead to a higher risk of personal privacy data exposure. Secondly is data quality and diversity. Complex data types and structures make the government spend more time and effort in the process of cleaning up errors and omissions, which increases the difficulty of data integration, resulting in degraded data quality. Lastly is data standardization and legalization. While governments are working to make big, unconstructed public data available, legal issues always come with handling big data in different contexts. This leads to the inability to unify standardization and legalization of big data.
Now let me discuss the preconditions to be satisfied before implementing big data analytics through a case study. The New South Wales State Emergency Service is an agency of the Government of New South Wales. It provides emergency and rescue service dedicated to assisting the community in times of natural and man-made disasters. The NSW-SES is made of almost entirely volunteers. In this section, we will take SES as an example to demonstrate our findings. Firstly, public sector should create a robust data gathering platform to collect and analyze data. In the case of the SES, it has collected massive amounts of data from a wide range of sources and developed a platform and emergency response command center. The general public may get the most up-to-date information about weather conditions or emergency situation in real time. Police officers, frontline employees, and others who are directly affected by weather conditions may also get data and subsequently take preventative measures. SES has built a strong and robust data structure to share personnel and assets with other agencies. Secondly, the public sector requires a strong information technology infrastructure. The SES has accomplished a successful installation of the integrated SAP system for emergency services to facilitate communication and cooperation at the state and local levels. By utilizing the capabilities of the upgraded IT infrastructure, the SES now can consolidate data from multiple databases to anticipate potential dangers and better estimate volunteer demands and availability.
Finally, top management assistance is especially important when initiatives require collaboration across multiple domains. Otherwise, the project's process will be delayed substantially. In the NSW SES, top management has shown active engagement, breaking down communication barriers among all major stakeholders and enable a high level of coordination. The case also highlighted that the senior management's involvement in providing a reasonable justification for data sharing and ultimately assist the SES setting up a data sharing platform.
Now, I'm going to conclude our research paper. The paper aims to evaluate how big data analytics creates value in the Australia public sector. Through referencing successful applications from other countries, we identified that the key benefit of big data analytics is enhancing the accuracy, efficiency, and transparency of decision-making. Specifically, in the public sector, the values can be seen from resource allocation optimization and proactive responsiveness. On the other hand, implementing big data analytics exposes the public sector to the risk of data security and privacy, equality and diversity, standardization and legalization. By using the New South Wales SES case, we verified the 3 requirements for realizing value from big data analytics and illustrate the applicability in the Australia public sector. However, there are some limitations to our research. First, because of the limited resources, only one case study is used to test and validate our findings. Besides, when inferring the findings from other countries to generalize the Australia public sector, we did not consider specific difference in specific socio-economical circumstance. Also, the research paper is purely based on a literature review and has no experimental data, which reduces the reliability. Therefore, this should be further addressed in the future research by using factual models and hypothesis testing. That's all we want to share regarding our research paper. Thanks for the participation and efforts from all the members. We also appreciate your time for listening to our presentation.